mistakes. One of them took about the comma and find. Okay. Another thing that you're gonna find it. Let me return back. This test is what I meant just work together. If you look here, as we said, that this is writing and grammar the same thing. The problem here that it's vague one to start a sentence with and, but it can be sometimes if it's informal language, and sometimes even the SAT will bring some kind of text like literature from people that they are talking with a slang language. So maybe you're gonna find and in the beginning. Now I want to be sure that and here is right or wrong. I know it's in the passage itself. He mentioned it and. In the passage itself, he said it and. He said it and. Look. So and is the right answer. But why? We have to use our mind. So we have to look at the sentence before it. So let's look at the sentence before it from here. He said, the more carefully we cut away useless words, the more perfect will become the lesson. Okay, mister, I didn't get the idea also. So let's read from the beginning. Here he said, the lessons are individual and brevity must be. Take care. Even he put the words in italic like the passage itself. And this is something horrible. Even he didn't change the style of the language in the tests. Oh my God. I don't know about those people, but let's cope with them. The lessons are individual and brevity must be one of their chief characteristics. Dean give excellent advice to teachers when he says, let the words be counted. Take care. The more carefully we cut away useless words means don't talk more. The more perfect will become the lesson. Then we have now the sentence that we're going to decide that we're going to put and or we're going to put other things. He said, and in preparing the lessons which he is to give, the teacher must pay special attention to this point. To the point, use what? To cut down useless words. Counting and weighing the value of the words which she is to speak. Okay, miss. I'm going to go from up. Is and right here? Yes. Why, mister? Because actually, it's built upon the other sentence. To use or to cut away useless words. To cut away useless words. So I'm right, mister. But, no, but it must be contradicting. No, I'm not going to use but here. As well as in addition to. And I think he doesn't add anything. It built upon the sentence before it. Frankly speaking, it's informal. Frankly, informal. So I'm not going to choose this one. So A is the right answer. Clear for all of you?
Clear.
Okay. Let's go to the second question. And again, if you look at the passage, you're going to find that he used tripled. The problem that when I come here to choose as a teacher, I start to be tripped. Wallah. Why? Because tripped is like removed, is like rejected. Do you believe that? Stripped, like removed, like rejected. So I said that the only thing is going to be obtained. But when I return back to read, take care, without looking at the passage itself, the original passage, when I start looking back and return back till here, take care for what I'm going to say now. It must be, just wait, mister. You said that it is a big pronoun. So let's read from here. Another characteristic quality of the lesson in the children houses is its simplicity. It must be, just wait. So it here, mister, means what? Means equality. Okay? So the quality, another characteristic quality, must be what of all that is no absolute truth. Just wait, mister. So we have to read this alone. Take care that I'm going to highlight it. Not this. You have to read this alone. Of all that is no absolute truth. So it mustn't be obtained, mister. It mustn't be obtained. Here he said of all that is not absolute truth, so we must eliminate them, remove them, not obtain them. You got it, guys? Hello? You are with me?
Yes,
Yeah, but how do stripped, removed, and rejected is the same?
Yeah, it's the same meaning. Stripped means removed. Removed,
Yeah,
rejected. They are the same meaning.
exactly. So how did it was stripped?
Yeah, because of that, I told you it's hard. When I return back to read the sentence, I find that we mustn't make obtain, especially if we're talking about simplicity. So we must to remove anything that is not truth. Okay? Fake words, we must remove them. So I start to come right now. I have stripped. This is what you're going to think with. I have stripped, I have removed, I have rejected. I know that this is the mistake of the examiner. This is the mistake of the examiner. It's not your mistake. But you have to think about the formal one. We know the strip to remove. We have removed and rejected. Which one is going to be more formal? Strip.
Stripped.
Okay, Ithar?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Tahir.
Mr. So the odd one strategy will not work in the EST?
No, it's gonna work. But as I told you, here when I said the odd one out, that is gonna be B, C, and D. I'm gonna remove them and I'm gonna set obtain. When I come here, Tahir, I found that the sentence is not gonna work because it said simplicity of all that is not absolute truth. So we must cancel them. We must remove them. Anything that is not true, we must cancel it. We obtain is wrong. So I returned back and said no. It's gonna be one of these. Okay, Tahir, but it's gonna work. Okay. I'm gonna show you now that it's gonna work. I know that there's a problem of the examiner, and as I told you, this one is Egyptian, fully Egyptian one, is not American at all. If it's American, it's not gonna write it with color, with OU. This is Egyptian one, and even I'm gonna show you another rule. That is the rule of F, and actually the rule of F we stressed on it in the national schools, not in the international. Okay, clear?
Clear.
Okay, let's go to number 3. And if you can find your number 3, I'm gonna take the full sentence. It's also grammar. It's a long one actually, but let's read it together. He said that the teacher must not lose herself in vain words. Take care, it's still is included in the first quality of consciousness. Then he puts semicolon. This second, comma, then is closely related to the first. Just wait, miss. I think now we have 2 independent clauses. This one, till consciousness, and the second one start from this. So whenever we have 2 independent clauses, we connect them using comma conjunction or semicolon or dot, and we make the first letter here capital. So comma alone is wrong. Comma alone is wrong because it's gonna be run on. Here, Mr. Dash and these dots mean that will come after them is gonna be not essential. And actually it's essential because he's talking about things that are important. So C and D are the same. So I'm gonna cancel. Look, tired now. I'm gonna cancel both of them. So now, mister, I still have only A, that we are gonna put semicolon that separate 2 independent clauses. Let's go for number 4, writing question. Which of the following statement best explain objectivity when giving a lesson? So I need something that explain objectivity. Please look at whatever I'm gonna tell you right now. I know that the answer in the passage that I show it to you right now, if I'm gonna open it, you're gonna find that it's in the 3rd quality. Yeah? Look, you see the lesson, okay? So immediately we know that the answer is no A, no B, no C is gonna be the D. Why, mister? I know that this is from the passage, but why? Again, the teacher told us whenever we have something in the SET or the EST that they don't like repetition. So this is an easy one. Objectivity here, then objectivity after it. It's wrong, mister. Look here. So A is wrong. Again, B is wrong. C is wrong. So the answer is going to be what? D, to eliminate repetition. Clear? I think this is the easiest one.
Yeah.
You can get it right directly. Objectivity, objectivity, repetition. Here, repetition, repetition. So we're going to take the one that doesn't repeat. Clear, guys?
Clear.
Anybody want to ask? Because Ithar raised her hand and Tahir. Okay. Number 5. If we're going to go to number 5, is it also a writing question? The writer would like to insert the sentence to provide further support to her argument in this paragraph. Take care also. In the passage, it's clear where you're going to find, where you're going to put it, this one. But let's make it together just to find out. If you look here, the statement has certain words that we must find it or connect it to what come before it and what come after it. If we're going to look at sentence 1 and we're going to go put the sentence in, he said what? So the teacher shall observe whether the child interests himself in the object. Take care, there's also a problem with the man here that he makes this test. The child, it can be himself or herself, because the child can be a girl or a boy. It can be he or she. Many problems, actually. It can be his or her. So let's read again. So the teacher shall observe whether the child interests himself in the object, how he is interested in it, for how long, etc., even noticing the expression of his face. Thank you. If I'm going to put it before sentence 1, so we must find words in the sentence, in the last, in this sentence, in this paragraph, and also in this one. Let's read it and find, is there anything shared? This brief and simple lesson must be considered by the teacher as an explanation of the object and of the use which the child can make of it. So the teacher shall observe whether the child interests himself. He talked about explanation. Okay, let's look after. In the giving of such lessons, I'm sorry, mister, explanation relate to the lessons. So I'm not going to put it before sentence 1. Okay, can we put it before sentence 2? So it relate to this one and relate to that one. So let's find out. He said here, in the giving of such lessons, the fundamental guide must be the method of observation. Wait. Well, I saw something that talked about observation. Observe. So, mister, there is a word here. Okay, let's continue. Observe. In which is included and unsought the liberty of the child. Also, I talk about the child. Okay, after that. And she, take care, she's talking about the teacher, noticing the expression of his face. And she must take great care not to offend the principles of liberty. Okay, mister, does we talk about liberty here in that one? I think. Because now she said that she's going to observe whether the child interests himself in the object and how he's interested in it, for how long, etc., even noticing the expression of his face. So like that, and she must take great care not to offend the principle of liberty, because she's going to observe him. Yes, this better. And this is actually the right answer. Okay, let's go to before sentence 3. So it must be here. So after this one. So if we're going to say, and she must take care great not to offend the principle of liberty. So the teacher shall observe whether the child interests himself in the object. Okay, after that, for if she has provoked the child to make unnatural effort, no, mister, I think now we are gonna break the coherence of the paragraph if we are gonna separate this from this. So it's not before sentence 3. Okay, maybe after sentence 3, Let's read here. For if she has provoked the child to make unnatural effort, she will no longer know what is spontaneous activity for the child. Then we're going to put that. So she's going to observe whether, then here. If therefore the lesson rigorously prepared in this brevity, simplicity, and truth is not understood by the child, is not accepted by him, no, mister, I think also I'm going to break the coherence, the cohesion between these two, because they talk about the activity and here they start telling us what is the activity. So the right answer is before sentence 2. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Tahir asked me a question that Mr. Elimination is not going to work here. No, it's going to work. Okay, let's see. Here, singular and present. Here it can be singular and plural, past. Here, singular, present. Here, plural, present. The problem that I have two singular and one that can be used singular and plural, and here one that plural. Here, Mr. No, is not going to be work. So what I'm going to say, I'm going to read the sentence. You remember when I told you that there is here a case for if? Mister, we know that we have 3 cases for if. If plus present will give me will plus infinitive. If, this is the second case. We call them conditional cases. If plus past will give me would plus infinitive. The last one, if plus past participle. I'm talking now about had plus PP will give me would have plus past participle. So let me give you a sentence for each one. Like now, I'm gonna have a test on Saturday. So I'm gonna say, if I succeed, if I study hard, I will succeed. Okay, now it's Friday and I didn't study. So I'm gonna say what? If I studied hard, I would succeed. Now it's Sunday, okay? So the test finished. So I'm gonna say what? If I had studied hard, I would have succeeded. Okay, mister. So if you look here, you have will plus infinitive. Which one? So I need what? The present, yes? And here she, so the present is gonna be in the singular, provokes. Clear?
Yes.
I'm recording this session, just watch it again. So now I'm gonna take provokes because it's the only one that is singular and in the present. Okay, number 7, teacher. If you look at number 7, it's here. So I have to take from the beginning of the sentence till the end. Let's read it together. He said the teacher must be warned of 2 things. I want to show you this sentence actually in the original passage, in the original one. This is actually the question that Mustafa asked me about. The right, Mustafa? Number 7. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me see it again. I'm sorry because I forgot. The teacher must be warned, and this. Okay, it starts with 4, and before let us. Let us is here. So it's in this one. Okay, 4 is here. Okay, spontaneous. So we said that we're going to take from the teacher must. The teacher, the teacher, okay, look here. Look how the sentence look here, guys. As we said that even if you write it like that, he has mistakes. The writer himself has mistakes. So this is a sentence that we are speaking about. It's still observation. If you look here, it said what? If therefore the lesson rigorously prepared in this brevity, simplicity, and truth is not understood by the child, is not accepted by him as explanation of the object, take care. Here it's a serious, because he said the lesson rigorously prepared in this brevity, simplicity, and truth is not understood by the child, is not accepted, and there is comma, by him as an explanation of the object. Then he put comma and he put here a dash. That means this is not essential. The man there, or the examiner, he delete the dash and he change, he makes some change. He write here the teacher must be aware of two things. Then he write here first not. Actually the sentence all, whether for the examiner or whether for the author, is wrong, has grammar mistakes. Let's return to ours. Look, there is no dash. So let's find here. Here he said that teacher must be warned of two things. Okay. First, the explanation now, the example. First, not to insist by repeating the lesson. And second, not to make the child feel that he has made a mistake or that he is not understood. Take care. That he has made a mistake or that he is not understood, this together. So we put comma or. Yeah, that's right. The problem here in that part. Are we going to put semicolon and? Because Mustafa told me, teacher, how we're going to put semicolon and? No, it happened. Can you tell me when, mister? We put semicolon whenever we have independent. And I explained it many times. Is that right? Hello? No, you have to wake up with me. Okay. There is another case that I absolutely talk about it. Where is Mr. Semicolons? It can be put also even if we don't have independent. But in certain cases, what are the cases? If we find that the whole sentence has many commas, and actually this must be a comma. So there is a rule. He told us that when we have many commas in the sentence, you have to change the main one to be semicolon and the sub one to be comma. So the main one, the comma that is main one, it change it to be semicolon. And the other one, keep it comma as it is. If you look here, look how many commas do we have. He said first, comma. He said second, comma. Then the same sentence, before or, there is comma. And this must be a comma. So now, where is the main one, mister? The main one that separates between the two independent clauses. So it's going to be this one. So now we're going to change the comma to be semicolon. And the other, keep them comma. But the problem here, that we don't need comma at all, or we don't need semicolon. Look at it here. We must say first comma, not to insist by repeating. Take care. This is not a clause. This is not a clause to put comma and between them. This is a phrase. Not to insist by repeating the lesson, not to make the child feel. This is a phrase, mister. There is no subject phrase and no subject verb. So it's not needed to put the comma. It must be without any comma. So the right answer, it must be C. You are with me now? Hello? شكلكم سرحتوا يا شباب صح؟
معاك يا مستر والله.
يعني the right answer must be C لأن هنا it's connected between two phrases. At school and in the class. Without comma. Yet if I said at school, comma, at class, comma, in the stadium, and in the stadium, في الحالة دي, I have to put commas. But In this case, I'm gonna deal with it like they are words, not sentences. The only case that I'm gonna put the comma is they are sentences after each other. وهنا بس حاجتين. There are only two. Not to insist by repeating, not to make the child feel. So why you put comma? No need. So we must put C. But the examiner, يعني answer right, C. But the examiner or the answer, he put what? He put A. Because he depend on my first word, that there are many commas, and here is going to be also a comma. So we replace it because they're important, because it connects between two independent clause, between two series. So we must put instead of it semicolon. تاني هو المفروض ما نحطش كوما هنا اصلا ولا semicolon ولا اي شيء. But he put A. My answer is C. تمام يا شباب؟
Sir, and the answer key is wrong.
Yeah. Yes, Mustafa.
So, Mr. How could we deal with those mistakes afterwards? Yeah.
يعني I don't know what I'm gonna tell you, but you're gonna work to your rationale. You're gonna work as I told you. The problem that if you want to put this, why you put this? This is wrong.
And when I saw
this
this
is wrong.
at the morning, I chose C. The answers are in front of me right now to check them. I answered that C.
Yes, C is right. C is right. And I don't know what I'm going to tell you, but you're going to find these mistakes. Okay? As I told you, I think when I saw the exam today, I 100% sure that it's an Egyptian man or Egyptian teacher or Egyptian person is the one that put this. Is not another committee from another country. Okay? Especially with copying this passage. Especially when you put the words in British, not American. Okay? Clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not going to answer number 7. I'm against it. Even in the passage, as I told you, in the passage, he delete the dash. I told you he changed the form of the sentence. Okay, number 8. Let's go to number 8. Don't be frustrated. It happened even in the SET. Number 8. If you look here, he said, which of the following best express the teacher own motivation? So I need something that express motivation. Okay, you are with me? Okay, mister. I'm gonna work that singular, plural, but all of them are singular. Things singular, wishes singular, is singular, needs singular. But the only thing that I want, motivation. No, I have another thing that I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna look at this sentence. He said here what? Hello. He said what here?
She desires.
Desires. Which one equal to desires here?
Need wishes.
Wishes. There is another thing to care. The is asked is passive. And we said that the SET and the EST don't like passive. So we're going to cancel this. So now we have needs, thinks, wishes. Motivation is not going to be needs. So we have wishes and things. I look at the sentences that follow. I find desires. Immediately, I choose wishes. Number 9. Okay, mister. It's the same sentence. He said, she desires. Okay, till here. She desires to attracting the attention of the child to the object. I'm sorry, it's not till here. Just wait, mister. Can we say to attracting? In some cases, yes, it's accepted. But here, it's not accepted. So if I'm gonna say she desires to attracting, wrong. So I'm gonna cancel A. To attract, wrong. So now I have attracting and to attract, and both of them are right. But we have a rule, put in your mind. we have to plus infinitive, and we have verb plus ing. This for something that happened now. This as a general. I'm gonna give you a sentence. If I'm gonna say, I like to swim, I like to swim. That means you know that I like to swim now. So Mustafa or Nada or Tahir or Yusuf or Mustafa or Isar, they're gonna tell me, okay, let's go to swim. I love to swim. I like to swim. Do you know that we're gonna go now to swim? But if I say I like swimming, that means something general. I like swimming as my hobby. The same thing happened here. If we're gonna read the sentence from the beginning, he said what? Let us suppose, for example, that the teacher, we said that wishes to teach a child the two colors, again, British, red and blue. So we are talking about a situation that happens now. So we need to plus infinitive. So we're not gonna take ing. So the answer is gonna be D. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. شباب فوق معايا بالله عليكم. So I'm gonna take to attract. Okay. Let's go to number 10. And for number 10, I like it. And even I know that you know it very much. For number 10. Let's take from here till here. Okay. He said that losing track, this may be right, maybe wrong, that the child has understood. She says, la 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 la. Wait, mister. في هنا she, right? So this is gonna be modifier. So losing track that the child has understood, she can be right. Goes losing track, modify she. That express about the teacher. And here he said, give me the red, give me the blue. Okay, do we have other things? To make sure, also it modifies she. Reiterating after Mr. means redo it. I don't know if she is repeating something or not, but reiterating, it will not come after it after. It's an idiom that will not come after it after. So this is wrong. With careful precision, it can be also. Okay, mister, how I'm gonna determine that which one is the right answer? I'm gonna go now to the sentence before it to know that they are talking about what. So I'm gonna take from then till here. Then in order to teach the colors, again a problem. She says, showing him the red, this is red, raising her voice a little and pronouncing the word red, slowly and clearly, then showing him the other color, this is blue. So losing track, no, I think she is not gonna lose track because she's gonna repeat, give me the red, give me the blue, and take care. So this is better, but because after is wrong. Okay, mister. So losing track also is wrong. Okay, to make sure, repetition can be to make sure. With careful precision, no. So to make sure is better because she is repeating again for just telling him about this methodology or to teach him about the color. Clear?
Clear.
Okay, let's go to number 11. Also number 11, I like it. I'm gonna take from here till here. This is the last question in this passage. He said the teacher doesn't repeat and doesn't insist. Wait, look here what I told you. Look, and there is no comma before it. There is no comma before it. It's a phrase, verb phrase. So between phrases, if they are two only, don't put comma. So in this case, I'm not gonna put semicolon. Okay, don't care. The teacher doesn't repeat and doesn't insist. Okay, mister, this is independent. Let's look after the semicolon to know that it's right or not. She smiles, comma, gives the child a friendly care and takes away the colors. Also, this is independent. So semicolon is right as you wrote, but the problem not in here, mister. The problem is here. Okay, let's read again. The second sentence now. She smiles. We must make it with the comma. Gives. Where is the comma? Where is the comma for it? Because there is and here. Where is the comma before and? So A is wrong. B, smiles, comma. Give the child a friendly cares. The comma must be here, mister. Before and, not here. So A also B is wrong. Okay, she smiles, comma, gives. Where are the commas? Here run on sentence. Punctuation mistakes. D, let's look at D here. He said what? She smiles, comma, gives the child a friendly cares and takes. Yeah. So now we know that smiles, comma, gives, comma, and takes. This parallelism. So the right answer is going to be D because it matched to the rule of parallelism. Clear?
Yes.
صح يا شباب clear ولا لا؟
Clear.
Okay. The second passage, actually, he brought it from his mind. I didn't find any evidence for it. So let's find out that he worked right or wrong. Okay. The first one, it's a long sentence. That actually while I start answering this one, I read it many times. I read it many millions of times just to find which one is going to be useful here, despite there are many punctuation mistakes. Okay, number one, he said music, take care. I took the first sentence also with it. Music deals first of all with feeling or emotion. Okay. Then he said, but. So start a new sentence with but. Despite he can put comma but. Okay. But since, this what just break my mind. Let's continue. But since emotion may be guided by the mind and transferred by the imagination, then he writes, since emotion is not a separate and isolated part of our being, so then he writes, this is right. So now there is a problem here. Okay, what I put a dash? Why I put a dash here? This is in the middle of the sentence. So if we have a dash, we must have two dashes. Or he means that from here till the end, it's not essential. So like that is going to be important. So let's find. He said, so music may be ordered by the mind and so take care. He repeats so. And so transferred by the imagination as to become intellectual and imaginative. Okay, mister. Now we feel that actually he put the dash and he knows that it's wrong because he put only so to replace all this phrase, or in fact, or regardless, or to keep the sentence itself. For me, I'm not going to choose A because actually it's wordy.
Mister,
Yes.
the answer is at the bottom of the page.
Where?
Here is it.
I'm still here. I'm sorry.
At first,
I'm
I
still
said
here.
that 13 was the answer of 12.
Yeah. Okay. There's a miss from my side. Okay. Also, there is a problem. He must put this here. But maybe because this computer, so we start copying. Okay. So we have also the answer. We have dashes. So we insist that we must put a dash except for C. But he put a comma. The problem that if you put a comma here and here, let's look again. If we put a comma after since, comma, emotion is not a separate and isolated part of our being, so music is gonna be a vague one. So the comma is wrong. So B and C is wrong. B and C is wrong. Here the 2 dashes. I told you that I'm searching for 2 dashes. That right? So D is the right answer. Thank you, Mustafa. So this is the right answer. I'm not going to choose A because only 1 dash alone. So I start searching for the 2 dashes as I mentioned in the beginning of the question. Clear? Yes, Nada.
Mr. I have a question.
Yes.
Separated and isolated, same meaning, right? Why he put 2 times?
As I told you, they have a lot of mistakes. But I'm not going to care here about what he wrote. I'm going to care about to find the one that is right. And here he is right. The only one that, as I told you, I'm searching if it's in the middle of the sentence. So I'm searching for 2 dashes, not only one. So here is the only one that has 2 dashes.
Mr. Can I
Okay,
say
Nada?
since so?
Yes, Mustafa, please.
Can I say since so? This part
You
is
want to
essential, so I
want
can
to-
remove it.
So since so, then you are going to delete? Yes, you're going to since so. Actually, he made the same mistake up. If you look here, he said what? But since. You
So
got it?
this is a mistake too.
Yeah. So since so is no problem, but the main thing that I must find 2 dashes. If you need to put dash, you're not going to put it alone. You have to put it here because this is in the middle. Okay, Mustafa?
Okay, miss.
Number 13. Here a relationship. We're talking about a relationship. So this is a sentence that we are looking at. We have to look before it to find that this actually the part that we are looking. Yes, Nada?
No.
Okay. He said the popular novel is 1/10 emotion, comma, 1/10 mind, comma, and the rest imagination. Then here he said what? It's with music. Take care. The it returned back to the novel. It is with music, comma, though such illogical invention as one constantly finds in many popular novels would be intolerable in any music. So here he doesn't mention actually any music. And here he's not going to say moreover. He's not going to say moreover. Moreover, okay. At first, let's see here and find that the 2 things that have the same relationship or the same function. We have moreover, so in fact, regardless. Actually, each one has a relationship that or the function that's different from the other. Okay, mister. We said here that if we're going to say moreover, so I'm going to build upon that. And here is not building upon. In fact, the same thing. Regardless, it's a relation that is opposite. And here he said that the popular novel is 1/10 emotion, 1/10 mind, and the rest imagination. So here I'm gonna say so, cause and effect relationship. So it's with music though, such illogical. It's gonna be illogical. And even he repeated here, because popular novels would be intolerable in any music, no music in there. So built upon what he gave it in the first sentence. Clear? Guys, wake up. Clear or not?
Clear.
Okay. Let's go to number 14. In number 14, he said what? Which of the following best conclude? Take care. I need something to talk about the conclusion. The sentence and transition to the next paragraph. Do you believe that the next paragraph or the first sentence in the next paragraph is this one? So we have to solve this one first to give me the answer for this. But whenever I find this, I said, oh my God, I think now this is true. This is now true because it must be built. How is going to precede one question before the other? Actually, he used to move in sequence. So I said now this is true. And I need to find something built on this. But also I said myself that I'm going to solve 15 first. Yes, Ithar. Isar.
Sir, my next lecture starts right.
Okay, Isar, I'm just recording the session so you can watch it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
You're welcome, Isar. Bye. So again, I told myself, because this is built upon this, so this is right. There's another mistake from the examiner. So now I'm going to go to 15 first. I'm going to go to 15 first. He said here, we must first of all distinguish. So where you're going to build this, you're going to read the sentence, mister. You're going to read the sentence first to know that there is a relation. Are you going to keep this or not? But as I told you, I'm going to say that I'm going to keep it. Here he said, a person may have a mind stored with wisdom and be completely what we call intellectual without ever expressing himself by a spoken or written word. So we have people that they never speak, but we know that they are intellectual. Okay, let's look at this. We must first of all distinguish between the quality itself and the expression of the quality. Yes, this built upon it. This built upon it. That maybe someone that is wise, but he doesn't speak. So we must know the difference between quality itself and the expression of the quality. So I'm going to keep it, mister. But which one? Kept the sentence. Kept the sentence provide detailed support for the argument, or kept because the sentence introduced the paragraph and transition from the previous paragraph. Look, it gave me the answer. As I told you that this because it's transition from this one and connect to this one. Okay, mister. Let's go to 14 now. As we're going to say, which of the following best conclude the sentence and transition to the next paragraph. Again, we're talking about distinguish between the quality itself and the expression of the quality. Let's read here also. I'm going to read this whole. Forget about this. In number 14. He said, since there seems to be incongruity. Incongruity means no harmonious between the statement that music has no definite meaning and the statement that is intellectual. Yeah, no harmonious, no relationship. How the music no definite meaning, has no definite meaning, and at the same time it's intellectual. And this is what he said here, that there is a difference between the quality and the expression of the quality. Okay. Are we gonna take mister? This leaves no room for reconciliation. Just wait, no room here. It's informal. So I'm not gonna take A. B, mister. It has caused an even further gap of understanding between the two. It is vague pronoun. I'm not gonna take it. C. Let us take a specific illustration and see if we cannot reconcile. Take care. Reconcile means harmonize. Harmonize. If we cannot reconcile the apparent confliction, yeah, there is a conflict here, and he said that we're going to take illustration, and this is the illustration, so it can be. Okay, if we're going to take reconciliation, proves to be a difficult feat. No, and feat also, it's informal. So the answer is going to be C. Clear, guys? 14 and 15?
Yes, miss.
Let's go to 16. B is wrong. B is wrong immediately. B is wrong. So now we have there, it's. Tahir. Look here, Tahir.
Yes.
Plural, singular. Which one are we going to take now?
Single.
No, you're going to take the plural.
صح ده صح.
بس استنى برضه. استنى يا طاهر. This mister is possessive pronoun. This is possessive pronoun. This subject and verb. No, your rule is not going to work here because they are not the same. Here, possessive subject and verb. So at first, I must decide that it's going to be subject and verb. We said this is wrong. Subject and verb? No, mister. Why? Because how subject and verb come after a preposition? From it is, it can't. So now we know that D is wrong. So now we have a conflict between, is it singular possessive pronoun or plural possessive pronoun? Which one will determine the sentence itself? He said here, his wisdom exists by itself and for itself, entirely separated from, thank you. We're talking about wisdom, so singular. So the answer is gonna be, it's clear, Tahir?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. Number 17. If you look at number 17, I'm gonna take it from the beginning, from here. And because it has a vague pronoun, so let's take from here, like the reading. If he expresses himself, and with the skill, we call that expression literature. Look, many mistakes. But here is right, take care, because here he separated the prepositional phrase. He put comma, but the main sentence must be comma, but it. It remains wisdom. And what is wisdom? It's what Mr. Eliot described a liberal education to be. There is dash here. There is dash here, but this at the end of the sentence, so it's right. A state of mind. It's the fusion of knowledge with experience, with feeling and imagination. Wait, miss. Wait, there is and, comma and. So let's look at the list. Okay, it's the fusion of knowledge with experience. So with experience, with feeling. So it must be here, and with imagination. So A is wrong, because we must write here with imagination. Okay, let's look at B. Knowledge with experience, comma, with feeling and with imagination. Yes, that's right, Mr. B is right, because it has with experience, comma, with feeling, comma, and with imagination. Okay, let's look at C also. Knowledge with experience, comma, feeling and with imagination. Where is with here? So it's wrong. Okay, Mr. Here. Knowledge with experience, comma, feeling, comma, and the imagination. Mr. It's right. The problem in there. So we must say with experience, comma, feeling, comma, and imagination without that. So that only that make it wrong. So the answer is gonna be B. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Number 18. He said here, there's a writing question. He said, which choice most effectively express the author argument about words and their wording power? Take care. I need a word. I need a word that talk about the words and their wording power. Okay, mister. Let's read here. He said, now words are simple, which in their efficacy means effect, as they try to compass feeling and imagination. So, Mr. How I'm going to change, diminish, change, disrupt, improve. How I'm going to change? Okay, I'm going to read this, Mr. Maybe I'm going to get information from it. So I'm going to take to define. He said, if the wise man is cold, he can say, I'm cold. But if he wishes to tell you of his idea of God, to talk about God, to talk about Allah, he has no words adequate for the purpose, yes, even if he's wise, because he's dealing with something which is not in the domain of knowledge alone, which he can feel or perhaps imagine, but cannot define. Yes. So I think here we need something that he doesn't have too much words. Okay. Disrupt is not. Improve, we said we need something that not too much words. It changed no, so diminish means make it less. That right. Clear?
Clear.
Okay. Number 19. And number 19 from the start here. If you look here, he said the beautiful says God is a manifestation of the secret law of nature, which, comma, but for the appearance, comma, had been forever concealed from us. Actually, both of these are exact words of Joth. Okay, Mr. In number 19, he told us the author is considering removing the quotation marks in the underlined portion. Quotation marks? No, Mr. They are the direct words of Joth. So we must put the quotation marks. Important. So remove no. Okay. No, the quotation marks serve to break from the flow of the passage to introduce new ideas, or because the quotation marks implies a word-for-word account to support the author argument. Yes, it's his exact words. So here, word for word, his exact words. So we must separate them by quotation marks. So no D. Number 20. Again, writing question. Which choice best match the rest of the quality the author mentioned? So I need a word that match all the quality that it's mentioned here. So he said what? And when that plastic medium. But Mr. I don't know about plastic medium. So let's read a sentence before. So let's read all of this. He said what? So we say that in wisdom, the qualities we call insight, feeling, and imagination must find for themselves some more plastic medium. So plastic here means that it can be something that accepts anything, expression than language. And when that plastic medium, though not definitive, has those qualities of, so I need something that equal to those qualities. Continuity, to be continuous, and form, which are essential to all intellectual expression. So we need something that continuity means continuous and essential to intellectual expression. We are justified in calling it intellectual. Okay, Mr. I think, Mr. Subjectivity is not going to be continuous because subjectivity, it's only depend on me and will be applicable for all intellectual expression. So A is wrong. Objectivity, yes. To be objective means that it's going to be continuous, means that it's going to be accepted by all intellectual expression. Rarity, to be rare, no. It's going to be rare. It's not going to be continuous. Rare is going to end. Unstructured also going to be end. So the answer is going to be objectivity. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay. After that, we're talking about the relative pronoun. And this also is easy. Take care of relative pronoun. We have 3 relative pronouns that we have many, but the 3 that they are famous, that we call them who, which, and that. These are the 3 famous. We have also whom, whose, but these are the famous. Why they are famous? Because who and which can be replaced by that. So whenever you have who and that and the same choices, delete both of them. Whenever you have which and that in the same sentence, delete both of them. Okay? Or you're going to say, take care that, again. If we have who or that, you choose who. I'm sorry. If you have who or that, you choose who. But this for the people. If you have which or that, you choose which. But these for things. If I have who and that, and I want to choose something for things, you choose that. If you have which and that, and we need to choose something for people, you choose that. Okay, Mr. Let's look at this one. He said the inevitable conclusion arrived at by any person. Thank you. So, Mr. Who is right? But who here, Mr., has is and understands. How is understands together? How two verbs together? Is understands? No, Mr. So A is wrong. Okay, we're talking about person. So which is wrong? Now we have whom and that. Whom can be for person, but it must be object. That for person, but it can be subject. As we said. Okay, Mr. Is it whom or that? Let's find. Whom come after it a noun or a pronoun. That or who come after it a verb. So here come after it understands. So the answer is going to be that. Clear?
Yes.
So answer here is going to be that. Again, why? As we said, we are talking about persons, which is wrong. Who is understands is wrong. So now we have, so this wrong and this wrong. Now we have whom or that. Is it subject pronoun or object pronoun? No, after it is a verb. So we need subject pronoun. So now that. Okay. 22. He said, which choice best conclude the passage and match the author writing style? Take care. You need what? Conclude what? The passage. Whenever you have something to tell you, conclude the passage, take care. So you have to look at three things. Listen to this. Whenever he told you conclude the passage, you have to look at three things. Number one, the topic sentence of the passage. Where are you going to find it? In the first paragraph. Clear? In the first paragraph of this passage. Number two, the topic sentence of the last paragraph. Number three, the sentence that come before the sentence. Again, whenever he told you conclude the passage, you're going to look at the topic sentence of the passage that you're going to find in the first paragraph, the first sentence of the first paragraph. You have to look at the first sentence of the paragraph itself, the last paragraph itself, and you have to look at the sentence before the sentence that you're going to add. Clear? شباب حد يرد يا شباب ما تحسونيش ان انا بكلم نفسي.
مستر ممكن بس الحته دي تاني.
Again, whenever he told you conclude the passage, so you have to look at the topic sentence of the passage. Where you're going to find it? In the first paragraph of the passage. Again, you have to look at the paragraph itself, the last paragraph itself. Look at the first sentence in it. And you have to look at the sentence before the sentence that you're going to add, mean this sentence. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's look at the topic sentence of this paragraph here. Music deals first of all with feeling and emotion. So we talk about music, feeling, or emotion. Okay, thank you. Let's now look at the last paragraph, the first sentence of the last paragraph. So we say that in wisdom, the qualities we call insight, feeling, and imagination, repeat feeling, must find for themselves some more plastic medium of expression than language. Okay, the sentence before the sentence that we're going to add here. The inevitable conclusion arrived at by any person who is understand it is that feeling, again, is absolutely controlled by the mind, and that is imagination that give it an extraordinary effect. Thank you. Here he said only imagination. Where is music? Where is feeling? So A is wrong. Here he said music, okay, with abundantes expressed. Where is imagination? Where is feeling? No. Here he said music. He said language also, that was in one of the part. He said imagination. He said feelings. Thank you. This is the one that I want. Has all the keywords. But look here. It has expression, is and will always be its peak when involving music. Language, where is imagination? So the answer is going to be what? C. Clear?
Clear.
Okay. The third passage, and the third passage also, he copied from one of the sites. No problem to copy it, but also it has mistakes. Let me open it for you. This one, guys. Look at the passage. He said what? We have seen how the Portuguese had slowly coasted along the shore of Africa during the 5th century. Yes? And this is the passage. We have seen how the Portuguese had slowly coasted along the shore of Africa during the 15th century. So again, we can find the answer clearly. Okay. Let's look at the first one. He said here, which choice best emphasize the practicality? I need something practical of the account versus the mannerless. So I need the practicality, something practical of the account versus the mannerless. Okay, he's talking about here. So let's look from here till here. He says by the end of the century, mariners, portals, some group gave a rude yet. So he needs something that built on root. Something account of the littoral of Africa, both on the west and on the eastern side. Okay, mister. He needs something practical. So it can't be subjective at all because subjective is not practical. Subjective depend on individual. So it's not going to be practical. Okay, mister. Effective, it can be practical. It can be. And because he said also it's both on the west and the eastern side. And he talk about the mariners. And rude yet effective. Rude but effective. Okay. So subjective is not. Unprecedented. Unprecedented means Mr. New. No, he doesn't talk about something new. Tactful, relate to the polity. He doesn't talk about politics. So the answer is going to be effective. Number 24. Again. 24, where is the end? It's here. If you look at 24, he said, not only did, not only, but also. But look here, he has a mistake also. He write but also, only without also. Not only, but also. But let's speak. Not only did they explore the coast, where is also? But they settled upon it. Then he put, comma, at Amina on the Guinea coast, comma again, at Leonard near the Congo, and comma, and this is a serious mister. Okay, this is a list. And Benguela on the western coast, comma, they no, just wait, mister. So here we must put comma conjunction or semicolon or full stop. So can we put here, mister, dash? So we need another dash because it's in the middle. So this is wrong. We said comma is wrong, so A is wrong. Can we put full stop? Yes, it's one of the answers. Can we keep it without anything? It's going to be run on sentence. So the answer is going to be C. Clear, guys? Shabab, clear?
Yes, clear.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr.
Number
Sultan,
25. Again, I'm going to take it from the beginning till here. On the east coast, they settled at Sofala. Then there's a positive. A port of Mozambique. Look here. He put semicolon. Why? Because like that is going to repeat many commas and there's going to be a problem. Here the semicolon because he said and. Repeat it for what? For at Sofala and Zanzibar. Because there is a comma here. So we change it to be semicolon. This is the case that I told you about. This right now. Zanzibar, they possess no less than 3 ports. Then now he's going to say the ports. Those first visited by Vasco da Gama and afterwards celebrated by Milton in the sonorous line contained in the gorgeous graphical extras in the 11th book. Okay, mister. We need to know afterwards here is right. Look again, he doesn't put comma here before and. So those first visited by Vasco da Gama and afterwards first visited, celebrated by Milton, Vasco da Gama, Milton. Yes, mister. They are parallel together. So this is right. No problem in it. Again, first, afterwards, visited, celebrated, verb, verb, bye, bye, Vasco da Gama, Milton. So A is right. Can I say passes by? We are talking in the past. Why you put passes? And knowingly, how? It doesn't give me parallelism after and. Certainly enough, it doesn't give me also parallelism after and. Okay, 26. Let's look at 26 from here till here. He said, at any rate, in some maps of the 16 and parallelism, mister. So 16th, 17th, not in numbers. Not in numbers. So be clear? 16th and 17th. Clear, guys?
Clear, Mister.
Okay. 27. It's here. He said what? He doesn't say anything. Okay. The problem that we need to look at this sentence, is it right or wrong? We which, again, mister, you said which for things, not for people. So A is wrong. Okay, let's look at B. We see it. Okay, Nada. This is the last thing. I'm gonna just postpone the other two plus the reading to the next time. Okay. I'm gonna put this inshallah on the group, Nada. You can go. So again, he said, we see it, which can, he repeat it and which together, it and which, it's wrong. Okay, Mr. C. We can see it terminated. Which, so which return back to terminated, and terminated here is a verb. So it's wrong. Okay. We see it terminated in 3 large lakes, which for the lakes, this is right. Clear, guys?
Clear.
Now 28. To make this paragraph most logical, sentence 5 should be placed. Look at sentence 5. He said it, so it must be returned back to something. It is difficult, however, to determine how far these entries on the Portuguese maps were due to actual knowledge or report, or to traditions of a still earlier knowledge of these lakes and mountains, semicolon. For in the maps accompanying the early edition of Ptolemy, we likewise obtain the same information, which is repeated by the Arabic geographers, obviously from Ptolemy and from actual observation, all of this sentence. So it must be related to what come before it and what come after it. Okay, if we're gonna keep it here, let's see that it relate to here or not. When the two great French cartographer Diesel and Danville determined not to insert anything on their maps, let's talk about the maps, for which they had not some evidence, these lakes and mountains, and he talk about lakes and mountains, disappeared, and thus it has come about that maps of the 17th century often appear to display more knowledge of the interior of Africa than those of the beginning of the 19th, and the least with regard to the source of the Nile. Yes, mister, I'm gonna keep it as it is. Why? Because he repeats something related to the lakes and mountains, and here he talk about lakes and mountains and map. Okay, let's go if we're gonna put it before sentence 1. It's probable that besides settling on the coast, the Portuguese from time to time made exploration into the interior. No, mister, doesn't have relation. Okay, after sentence 2. At any rate, in some maps, okay, he mentioned maps of the 16th and 17th, he mentioned 17th century, there is shown a remarkable knowledge of the course of the Nile. But where's mountains and lakes? No, mister. After sentence 6, when the two great, okay, we can put it here, but it doesn't have a relation to here. African exploration of the interior begins with the search for the source of Nile, and here Nile, here Nile. No, mister. So 28, I'm gonna keep it as it is. Okay, guys? Okay, I'm gonna stop here, guys, and tomorrow we're gonna have a session to complete this, and the part of reading. Any question regarding anything till now?
Thank you, Miss.
No, thank you.
Okay, do you understand everything?
Yes.
Okay, I'm also gonna send for you the 2 links. Maybe the examiner is gonna put something from these 2 links, because actually they include many paragraphs, so you can read it. Okay, this one and this one. Clear, guys?
Clear.
Okay, see you inshallah tomorrow. Bye. Yusuf. Hello.